The rain came down hard over Port Charles, streaking the hospital windows with silver lines that blurred the city beyond. Inside General Hospital, alarms chimed, footsteps echoed, and destinies quietly shifted. Elizabeth Weber barely had time to hang her coat before a nurse intercepted her. Trauma coming in, possible overdose. Lucas Jones was already moving, pulling on gloves as Elizabeth joined him. One glance at the gurney rolling through the doors told her this case was going to be complicated. The man's face was pale, his breathing shallow, his pulse erratic. "Let's go," Lucas said, calm but urgent. They worked in near silence, muscle memory taking over. Elizabeth administered oxygen while Lucas barked out instructions. Whatever had happened before this moment didn't matter, only the fragile life hanging in the balance. Outside the room, whispers spread like wildfire. Across town, Britt Westbourne stood in front of the mirror in her apartment, smoothing down her jacket and shaking her head at herself. "You're really doing this," she muttered. For once, she wasn't running from danger, she was inviting it. Jason Morgan arrived exactly on time. Britt opened the door, eyebrow arched. "I need you to trust me tonight," she said. "There's something I want to show you." Jason studied her for a moment, then gave a half smile. "Lead the way." They drove without conversation, the tension between them crackling louder than the engine. Britt brought him to a quiet pier outside the city, lights reflecting off the dark water. It wasn't extravagant, just peaceful. "For someone like me, peace doesn't come often," Britt said softly. Jason understood that better than most. But somewhere, far from the pier, a man in a secure office read a classified file and frowned. Orders were drafted. Lives would be disrupted. Back at the hospital, Stella Henry cornered Isaiah near the nurses' station. "You don't get involved," she said sharply. "This is family, and you're crossing a line." Isaiah opened his mouth to respond, then thought better of it. Some battles weren't worth fighting. Not yet. In a private waiting room, Tracy Quartermain leaned toward Nina Reeves, her eyes sharp with satisfaction. Funny how the universe works. Some people dodge consequences for years, then suddenly it catches up. Nina swallowed hard. Whatever had happened wasn't just gossip, it was fallout, and fallout always hit everyone nearby. The tension exploded later that afternoon in a quiet corner of the hospital parking garage. Michael Corinthos had been spoiling for a fight, and he found it in Harrison Chase. "So tell me," Michael sneered, "how long before you're playing house again?" Chase didn't hesitate. His fist connected with Michael's jaw, the sound echoing off concrete. Michael stumbled, then lunged back, rage blazing. Security rushed in before it went any further, but the damage was done, physically and emotionally. Inside the hospital, Sonny Corinthians stood face-to-face with ADA Turner. His voice was low, controlled, and dangerous. "You push this the wrong way," he warned, "and it won't end how you think." She met his gaze, unflinching. "Is that a threat?" Sonny smiled faintly. "It's advice." In a quieter corner of Port Charles, Trina Robinson sat across from Ava Jerome, hands clenched in her lap. "I don't know who to trust anymore. Everyone's hiding something." Ava listened carefully, saying nothing. Sometimes the truth revealed itself best when given space. As night fell, Britt and Jason returned from the pier, laughter lingering between them, until Britt's phone buzzed. One glance at the message drained the color from her face. "Orders?" Jason asked. She nodded. "And they're not good." At the hospital, Lucas stepped out of the ICU, exhaustion etched into his features. Elizabeth joined him, already knowing the answer before he spoke. "We did everything we could. Now we wait." Above them, the hospital lights hummed, indifferent to love, regret, or redemption. In Port Charles, fate never slept. It watched, it waited, and tomorrow it would strike again.